Prekshaa Pratishtana is an organization with the primary goal of making the vast and checkered fabric of Indian cultural heritage more accessible to all. It has two main focus areas: publishing research and subjects related to Indian culture and producing lucid English translations of valuable literature in these areas written in Indian languages. The dominant activity of the organization is the publication of Prekshaa, preksha.in, a niche online journal featuring articles on Indian art, culture, literature, history, and philosophy. Deeply influenced by the Indian spirit, the content on Prekshaa is characterized by the element of timelessness and continuing relevance. The Prekshaa journal was originally started in early 2010 by a group of youngsters from Bangalore under the guidance of Shatavadhani Dr. R. Ganesh.
The genesis of Prekshaa was in the study circle of Kalidasa's Raghuvamsha that was being led by Dr. Shatavadhani R. Ganesh. The study circle met fortnightly, and during the sessions, the discussions would wander into many areas which are covered in Kalidasa's work as well as that are of common interest for the participants. These included Indian culture, tradition, philosophy, spiritual aspects, epics, history, and so on. These discussions carried on from the earlier Sanskrit poets like Vyasa and Valmiki, and through the classical ages, different poets, different authors, their works, lead even up to the contemporary poets and their works, and those in regional languages, especially Kannada. In this churning, we were learning so much, and a genuine desire to share these things germinated. Of course, Dr. Ganesh was mentoring, was pushing, and was inspiring all of us to write on these aspects since so much of analysis was being done.
Encouraged by the regular stream of quality content to its corpus and response from a discerning readership, Prekshaa Pratishtana was officially registered as a non-profit organization in 2016. We are fortunate to have as our advisors stalwarts such as Dr. S.L. Bhairappa, Nadoja S.R. Ramaswamy, Professor L.V. Shantakumari, Dr. S.R. Leela, Dr. T.S. Satyavati, Shatavadhani Dr. R. Ganesh, and Sandeep Balakrishna.
Having been an active part of the Prekshaa family for over 5 years, it has been an absolute delight, a great pleasure, as well as a highly fulfilling experience. By any standard, Prekshaa Pratishtana is one of the most eminent institutions in contemporary cultural milieu of Bharatavarsha. The quiet and sustained method of work done by Prekshaa Pratishtana and its entire team is truly worthy of emulation.
In the journey so far, the Prekshaa Journal has published more than 2,500 essays and translations in various languages, including English, Sanskrit, Kannada, Tamil, and Bengali. We have published around 25 books in various genres such as philosophy, epics, history, dance, music, theatre, literature, poetry, aesthetics, pen portraits, and reminiscences.
In all the Abhinava events, including the recently conducted Madanotsava, instead of giving flower bouquets, we chose to give bouquets. And these were extraordinary books on dance, music, literature from one of the most amazing publishing house, Prekshaa Pratishtana.
Prekshaa Pratishtana provides authentic content related to literature, arts, philosophy, and aesthetics.
Apart from original writings, Prekshaa has also published translations of Kannada literatures such as Dr. D.V. Gundappa and Professor A.R. Krishnashastri. We have also republished the major writings of Professor M. Hiriyanna. Some of our publications include Stories Behind Verses, The Best of Hiriyanna, Vagartha Vismayaswada, Bharati Lochana, Nipuna Praghunakam, Rutu Kalyanam, Shiva Rama Krishna, Evolution of Mahabharata, Art Gallery of Memories, Prekshaniyam, a tapestry of pen portraits, the art and science of Avadhanam in Sanskrit, studies in ancient Tamil law and society, and the essential Mahabharata.
The books that are published by Prekshaa Pratishtana is always at cost, or in fact lesser than the cost of the publication. In order to ensure that it is made known to wider audience at almost cheaper or at no cost, we have ensured that the articles published by Prekshaa Journal, online journal, is for free.
Prekshaa publishes an annual calendar putting together some of the finest sculptures of various Indian royal dynasties, along with emotionally rich verses from classical Sanskrit literature. This is a humble attempt to highlight the organic correlation that has always existed among the various classical Indian art forms, in this case poetry and sculpture. Thus far, the calendar has featured sculptures from the Badami Chalukyas, Hoysalas, Rashtrakutas, Pallavas, Kalingas, and Cholas.
Bringing out the exquisite calendar is another unique work of Prekshaa. It is a work of art in designing and in execution also, with pictures of sculptures from famous temples, Sanskrit shlokas and its meanings in English. It remains a preserver's special item, I can say it.
To understand a country, a civilization, a culture, we should first keep aside our spectacles and see it as it is. The problem with Indological studies today is many people begin to view Indian studies, Indian knowledge systems, and Indian society and culture with a spectacle given by the colonized mindsets. The same thing applies to our Indian culture. The people who colonized us, who were racist, who were fanatic, who always had contempt and wanted to dominate and convert the whole of the Indian society, they take up the task of writing about India. So there's a deficiency of the insider's viewpoint. Or we have so many scholars who are so well initiated into the Indian knowledge systems and the Indian thought line, but where are they heard much in the public space? We have to bring them out. The Indian mind with the Indian spirit, who lives the Indian way and who understands the spirit behind the Indian culture, should come forward. Prekshaa Pratishthanam is doing a very wonderful job. It has brought out the lives of these great people and what they have contributed to the society, what were their works, what were the contents, and by knowing these great scholars and contributors, we shall open a window into the world of Indian cultural space.
In May 2021, Prekshaa organized a unique lecture series on exemplars of Indian wisdom from Karnataka. Its aim was to introduce the life and legacy of scholars from Karnataka whose works are the creme de la creme of their respective fields. These scholars serve as models worthy of emulation for the sincere student of Bharatiya Vidya. The lecture series featured 14 exemplars who enriched various academic disciplines. Prekshaa is fortunate to have received financial support from many donors, the foremost of whom have been Infosys Foundation and Development Foundation.
अर्थचतुष्टय शिक्षा साक्षात्कृत यज्ञदान तपसां दीक्षा अर्थचतुष्टय शिक्षा साक्षात्कृत यज्ञदान तपसां दीक्षा
अर्थचतुष्टय शिक्षा अर्थचतुष्टय शिक्षा साक्षात्कृत यज्ञदान तपसां दीक्षा
वाग्वृत्तित्रय रक्षा प्रेक्षासौ जयति भारती पदलाक्षा
वाग्वृत्तित्रय रक्षा प्रेक्षासौ जयति भारती पदलाक्षा
प्रेक्षासौ जयति